apart from producing the next generation, what is the true value of intimate relationship?
It's an interesting question, that one. Because it's assumed in that question that intimate relationship is about couples producing offspring, where true intimate relationship is the depth and mating of any relationship, whether it's between a man and a woman, a father and a daughter, a father and a son, a sibling, or a friendship. So the depth of intimacy really is the depth of mating of one's own self. Our willingness to be so in love here with this divinity, and that will be my word for people listening or watching that might not be the word that's used, but this divinity that's here, this grace that's living this life, to be so fulfilled, so in love here, the depth of this intimacy, or with God, the depth of this intimacy with God is really the depth of the intimacy with any relationship. And so this intimacy then has nothing to do with procreation, has nothing to do with the next generation or offspring in that way, and has everything to do with the next generation in our willingness to have this depth of intimacy with ourself, that then that is explored and experienced, the depth of the same mating with another, and then how that can open up with everyone that we meet, which then of course includes the next generations. And that potential for incredible, truthful, open mating with anyone, with everything, and with all of life. Was there more that you wanted to ask about that question?
I phrased it that way because that would be the common understanding of what intimate relationship was about.
Yeah, because people do feel that intimacy is this hidden, secretive, just between couples, either a man and a woman or same-sex couple, you know, this intimacy. And yet when we're willing to see that that's only one aspect of relationship, then we get to discover true intimacy. And true intimacy here with ourselves, with life, with grace, with God, then is experienced and discovered in everything. And as I look around, you know, in a leaf, in a flower, in a tree, in a person, in an animal, in our families, in our children, in our friendships. So we can see then, if we only look at intimacy in that close sexual relationship, we miss intimacy everywhere. Because intimacy and sexuality are not the same thing.
Richard, do you want to expand the question?
I was thinking about the kind of trap or notion that a lot of people go into relationship believing that the soulmate's going to fulfill something in them, or the complementary relationship's going to create a more whole, bigger whole, or a more complete individual somehow. You know, I think that's a bit of a accepted or followed belief structure, in relationships, certainly my own experience, that I, hoped in my life that some of the perceived shortcomings or holes might be filled by a complementary relationship, which is fraught. I can tell in my own experience now, but for a lot of people, I think that's a valid pursuit, be it helpful or not helpful.
So in life there are polarities. So there, even when we look at the earth, there are polarities, the magnetic polarities, and we see that in everything. And so then that does present in relationships. When we discover that we are already whole, fulfilled, free, already, that opens up a totally different possibility and potential of every relationship. When we're looking to another to fulfill something that we feel or believe or have experienced as missing or deficient, then we can never meet the other in their wholeness, because we're looking at them as something, and we're coming from a place of deficiency. So to explore that is really to explore, first of all, nothing about the other. What is this deficiency? What do I believe? What do I fear? Not as a mental inquiry, really an opening inquiry into what do I really believe? What do I feel here? And am I willing to meet this that I wish someone else could fulfill? So often it's, I need to be loved, or I need to be safe, or I need to be taken care of, or I need to be looked after, or I need to be protected. Or it might be the other way around. I need to protect. I need to love. I need to create safety. So rather than moving in any of these ways, if we're willing to open and discover what's here, it may be uncomfortable, it may be painful, because we're first of all having to meet our own perceived deficiency. Then as we're willing to open and meet the hurt, the pain, the betrayal, the loss, the fear, the control, the longing, we open more deeply and we discover this that's deeper, this that can never be fulfilled by something outside that's always full. This that can never be lost, this that can never be given. We discover this that needs nothing. So then when we are in any relationship, intimate or sexual or friendship or colleagues or family or with children, there's not any kind of pulling and pushing, controlling or fear or needing. There's an openness, and this openness, this depth of oneself, meeting the depth of oneself in another, and then that's true intimacy. And then relationships are not sticky. Relationships are not needy. Relationships are not controlling or whatever, or fearful or dominating or submissive or whatever flavour has been showing up, because we're willing to meet what was being covered and masked by that relationship. We discover the truth. We're already full, fulfilled. And then this wants to overflow naturally and share itself. which is beautiful, such a beautiful thing to be then in all relationships.